Are we live? Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to August edition of Working Wisely in 2021. My name is Roman, and I'm a co-founder of Workstreams.ai. And I'm joined by Lucas, our infrastructure engineer, and we will try to run you through what's new in the world of Workstreams.ai. As usual, we cannot wait to be back in the mountains. Now, as we've been for a couple of months reporting on various workflows and small things, this release or this month we will talk about a couple of major changes which are mainly related to the basics of how the taskboards operate, how do you create tasks, how you can set up further automation, quite importantly, how you can control how many task messages or notifications you receive on your platform, and very importantly, how do you archive a task board. So these are all new features which we added recently within the last month. Some of these have been already in our beta tier for a while, like the task auto forwarding, and some of them are kind of brand new. On improvement side, we made a couple of small changes which might just make it a little bit more round, especially on the user faces. And we also relaunched our subscription area, where we are currently working on adding further and further content to allow you to update your payment details, update your contact details, and potential upgrades and offers from our end. So I would like to jump straight to our live demo session. So we have roughly 25 minutes. Let's have a look at our new task composer, then followed by the work step settings, and wrap it up with the archiving of a task board. So I prepared one task board, which is called Working Wisely August 21, which is in its very simplest form: planned, progress completed. We have a couple of tasks which came from a task template, and we have ownership set on this column. First thing I would like to show is our new task composer. As you might remember, we had a little bit different look to the original way how you created the task. After a couple of years of having that old view in, we slowly progressed from the old view to something which resembles a little bit more what we have for any task. We call it internally big card overlay or large task overlay. And what it brings is the all possibility of all actions to be in one place, visible, all task details of the task chat, links, and attachments to be visible in one location. Now, with the migration to our new task composer, we aim to achieve exactly the same. It's possible to add a task with full rich information from a single view. So August is a month of harvest. For example, with assigning of the task to anybody you would like to, full details you might be used to from any detailed task, and this is all saved the same way as you would be modifying any existing task. So nothing really changes on that, except that now the look and feel is unified, and you will be seeing this component actually appearing more often in various places in our application. I will show later on also how this looks like in the task template editing. We are bringing this into the workflow task template editing. So this is the major way how the new task composition will look like. Now, in the past, we also had the option to create a task simply by adding the title. This option is changing, and it's slowly coming in its new way, which we call a quick task. And that will be simple entry directly on your board, task with less details, doesn't need a big overlay. This basically will do exactly what you need. So if you need to type many tasks in one go, just with a title, this might be the easier way for you. However, if you would like to add more details, this will be your primary way to actually get it done. So that's quickly on how the new task composer looks like. We would like to hear from you whether this is a little bit easier to use than our previous, and any feedback additionally is also appreciated. Now, moving forward, the task creation is very important, but I would say a little bit more, even more important is the organization of your task board and a configuration of your work steps. Until now, the only way to edit your work steps was through our task board settings dialog, where you were able to add more steps. So in progress, in review, change the title, and add additional work step settings. So we are slowly replacing this old school work step settings component where you are able to set work step owners and auto assignees with our more advanced work step settings, which are available directly in the name of the work step. So it's not only possible to access directly the work step settings and make the changes here in review internal, but it's also possible to change the task, the work step titles directly, but just by single clicking and doing the changes in place. We believe that this will make it way easier for anybody to administer their boards and provides way faster access to required action. Now, the big part of this workstep settings is actually is now split between two different tabs. Properties, as I mentioned, the workstep title. It also allows you to set a description. Own description can come here. This description is shared with the workflow. If you are working on a task board which originated from the workflow, the workstep title and descriptions are connected to the workflow. So any changes as a workflow owner you do here propagate to your workflow and to additional task boards. It's all interconnected. It's possible to set the ownership. So the same way as we had it earlier, the ownership can be set directly from here. And in difference to our previous setup, the ownership will now be visible directly on the task board. Previously, this was only icon which resembled some difference, but you could not see who actually is the owner of a given work step. With the new approach, we are able to show you the first person by the avatar, and if you hover over that given icon, you will see the list of given owners. So again, going step forward to provide more clarity on what's happening on your task boards. Now, second part of this tab is called automation. This area will be growing with more automation options which will provide. We already had in our range auto assigning, and that doesn't change. So if you would like to make Bernd the default auto assigner of all your tasks, you can do so. Any change in this tab needs to be confirmed by pressing the save button, because these changes actually have a further effect on modification of your tasks. Changes in the properties column do not have a save button because they do not directly modify anything with the save button. On the automation side, however, if you have any tasks, for example, here, and you select the auto forwarding, it would automatically forward it. So just a quick example of the auto assignee after the task is moved into a given column is automatically assigned to Bernd. And as we can see, Bernd is not in the owners, but we make Bernd one of the owners. So now Bernd and Lagata would be only two people actually allowed to make changes on this given task. And if Bernd is available somewhere further down the line, he might move the task to complete it whenever it's ready for him. Important is that he gets automatically notified and everything is quickly accessible through automation tab. Now, let's imagine a different situation, and that is that we have a different team which needs to do some work, and only some tasks fall into this category that, okay, I would like team ABCD to work on this, and I would like automatically delegate certain tasks to team ABCD. As you can see, I have an ABCD channel or task board available here. So let me quickly choose that one. And what we can do is we can set the auto forwarding. We talked about it in our previous, I think, 1 or 2 sessions, but just quickly, it's possible to select any task board and a step related in the task board. So as you can see, this is the list of work steps available from the ABCD task board. And any single there is a further communication with this. Maybe now Bernd will reassign the task to himself. And we keep this as a key information about what has happened in what time events or timeline over different events. It's quite important, but the content can be quite overwhelming because, for example, as soon as you can see now, Bernd has reassigned himself and he said, sure, this is all present on the task. And as soon as I start adding the subtasks, so for example, I'll go with the subtask 1, 3, 4, 5, and I start making further changes. I set a due date. All of these end up as a message in your task thread. Now, I didn't receive any notifications because I was never mentioned on this thread. I'm not a follower, and my notifications in Slack are set to be notified only about direct messages, mentions, and keywords. This is the key setting for how many messages you receive on your Slack. A similar notification setting exists on Microsoft Teams. If you do not choose to be notified only about some content and your default setting is set to all new messages, then it looks completely different. Let me show you how that looks like. That means you will get a message for every single, you will not get a message, you will get a notification for every single message happening in on your Slack. I think I post notifications, so maybe that's why I'm not getting them. But that basically would make it fire, ping, 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 and that's probably not what you want. Now, given the fact that that some people still have this setting on and they are notified about all changes, it's important to address this and give people control. So as you can see, all changes are propagated without us doing any change. Now, what we want to do is we want to take control over what's going on. For that, we go to notification settings, and we can either completely disable the changelog notifications, which will lead to a task still having its task message and having controls, task with controls, but no notifications. As you can see, we have task with control, but no notifications. Only information it has who created the task. As soon as I move the task further and assign it to somebody else, I don't get any of that noise which was previously broadcasted because we decided we don't want to get any of this further. Now, what happens if I turn the notifications back on and I choose only some events? So here we have the split between what we consider critical events, like the status has changed, task has been assigned, has been archived, has been deleted, and let's say minor events, which might be description has changed, or a subtask has changed, or custom fields have changed. So for example, if we disable all of these except the due date, maybe we consider due date being more important, and let's say that we also disable all of the others except assigning. So now we only want to be notified about task assigned and due date change. And then we head to Slack and we change the status back to planned. You don't get any message. However, if we reassign the task, we get the message. If we set a due date, we get the message. So this way we are able to fully control what changelog notifications are being broadcasted to your communication platform. This is a team-wide setting which applies for the whole audience of a given channel, because it's related to your channel, whether it's on Slack or whether it's on Teams, and it's not possible to configure it on the personal level at this point. If you decide to change this at any point further and you say, okay, now from now on I want to get all title updates, you can still do that, and you say task with controls but and limited notifications. Now as we have a look, title was updated. So We give you a tool now to control exactly what is going on. It's our first step forward to more granular permissions and regulations on the notifications level. It's just the starting point, because the next thing which we'll be working on is bringing in the internal notifications within Workstreams. So it will be possible to actually disconnect the messages from the Slack completely, if you wish so, and just receive notifications within the application. For that, we are looking for a group of testers which might have a specific needs why they would like to do this. And we will be running this beta program probably within September, October. So please get in touch so we could find a way how to make this work the best for you. Now, we are getting to the end of the live demo on the latest features, but if we reach to the point that the dashboard which we created and which has reached its purpose, that means we actually got everything done, or we do not need this dashboard anymore because something has changed, then we are missing one critical feature which we have now, and it's called archive dashboard. So now I can just decide that, okay, I don't need this board at all anymore. I don't want to see it in my list of dashboards. I don't want anybody else to see it. We don't need this anymore. So by clicking Archive Dashboard, you basically get rid of everything you had on this board, and it's moved out of your view. It's gone. The dashboard has been successfully archived. It's gone from your selection. All tasks are gone from your Slack channel, and the dashboard itself becomes archived. This one for some reason stayed here. I don't know why. So there is a way to bring it back on Slack. There is not really a way to bring it back if you are on solo, and there is not really a way to unarchive it now still on Teams. It's something we might bring in the future, and something we would like to hear feedback on. Where would you expect to find this archive dashboard and what kind of information? We mentioned earlier certain changes on the making things round, and we talked specifically about the user avatars. They used to be square, but now they are round. And another improvement which we work on is the overall subscription area, which will be growing further. As we are currently subscribed on this team, that doesn't show much, but the overall journey is way different. Right. So that was from the latest features and improvements. Now, before we move to Q&A, Lucas, is there anything on our live chat which would be in relevance to what I was just talking about?
Not yet. Just a quick notice. I hope everything works fine now. We had some technical difficulties, but from what I can tell, I think it's back on track. But we already got some positive feedback on the features, so that it sounds great. So happy to hear that. And there's the first question. How do I create a task from a template with the introduction of quick tasks? That may be something.
Say it again, please. I'm not sure I understood.
From the quick task creation, how you can create there a task from a template.
Very good point. So from the quick task, there will be, so first of all, there is on the level of add task, there is a button to create a task from a template. That's one way you can do so. If you already entered the world of a quick task and click on, still want to decide to make it out of template, you click the same icon, create task from template in here. That will bring you to the choice of a template, and you can choose workshop kickoff, and voila, there you go. All tasks created. That's in the context of the quick task. There's also another way how to do it, and that would be from the drop-down menu here, choosing from template, brings you to the same template selector. Hope it answers the question. If there are more questions related to what we are showing, please type it into live chat. We will get to them as soon as we get through our free prepared questions. So the first question which we received within the last month was, how can I edit tasks inside of existing template? Can I add more tasks to one template overall? How do I operate the task templates area? I would like to use the task templates in our workshop context. So pressed something which I should not press. Task templates. So to access your task templates, it's simple. On any taskboard, click on the task templates button. It will bring you to the list of all your task templates across all teams, which are visible either in a public mode or which are private. I would like to look further at what is this workshop kickoff template. I can use a view button, which will just basically show me a summary as a list of tasks which are available. If I would like to see more details on any of these tasks and see the details of the template, I can click edit template. Now, these tasks originally came from some existing content. And if you would like to edit any of these tasks, it's as simple as clicking on the existing task in the template, and you get the what we showed earlier, the big card overlay in the context of a task template. Here you can add any description you would like to. Workshop description comes here, and add any additional content which you would like to preserve in the template. This is automatically saved into the given task, and to preserve the changes on the template, you would just need to press the Save Template button. Now, if you would like to add additional task which is not inside of the template yet, you can always just pick any task on the board by clicking on it, and that adds it into a given template. Now, as you can see, we have a defined workshop scope twice, and we can say decide on location. We can rename this, and this was already is disconnected from the task which you picked from the board. So at this stage, you are modifying a different task than which we picked here. If you want to preserve these changes, you click Save Template, and this template is not available to be used. I would use it maybe in this work step, so we actually see that it had effect and we have a different content coming out of it. So as you can see now, it's 5 tasks. Voila, and the decide on location is here. Define workshop scope is here, and the one which we modified about the seating arrangement, which we don't want to modify. They are all in here, right? So this would be the way how you make any changes inside of your existing task template. To create new task template, it's as simple as clicking on Create New Task Template, picking the tasks you would like to include, check the settings, pick from all the available settings you want to include, and Save Template. And it becomes available by default generated name, which you can always choose to edit and replace with anything else. Right. So I hope that answers the question. If not, please write to feedback further, and we can set up a video call to go further on that. Second question, I want to see how my team worked over a quarter. Is it possible to generate quarterly flowcharts for my task boards? Right, so we offer a flowchart button on a flowchart functionality on any task board. This task board is not really maintained, so I'm not sure we will actually get any data for it. Not much, as you can see, there is only data for today, as we didn't really use it much. But in general, I think it shows the thing. It's actually showing the records for last 30 days. It's in our roadmap to provide more control over this view within the web application. However, it is possible to see a longer period if you navigate to inside of Slack. It's not available for Microsoft Teams user at this point, but inside of the Slack, navigate to Workstreams app. And inside of the Home tab, you will be able to pick a task board and see the statistics from this view. So if you go and, for example, I pick the development and I pick last 6 months, you will get a graph which is related to your last 6 months performance of a given task board. If you go for 3 months, you get a quarterly. It's still not possible in this view now compare 2 different periods, but that's something which we are looking into and which you would like to bring in the web application itself. It's part of our analytics and performance metrics topic, which we are currently working on, and there will be quite interesting changes coming within the Q3. So I hope that answers questions. Now, audience question. As a new user, where can I find some introduction to workflows? Right, the workflows are located on the left side of the navigation, and as soon, if you first time enter the workflows, you will get a welcome screen which explains it into certain extent. However, if you do not have, or if you forget what was all of this about, and you are already on existing workflow setup, and you would like to know a little bit more, you can always visit workflows. We call it workflows guide, which is available under this button. And when you click on that, you get a list of workflows, list of tutorials, which for some reason shows in here just one. Let me find a different channel which might have more. Here we go. So by default, we have three categories of our guides, and some of them are fully interactive, and some of them are more just like a click through. So let me just quickly show you the interactive one. It's a mix of reading and following what you are being told. As soon as you see a next button, read the text and press the next button. However, sometimes you are being told to actually interact with the application. So now I'm being asked to use a template to learn more. Okay, I've used the template and now I need to explore a little bit further. And that's basically the basic exploration on how do I use task templates within the workflow. When I finish this, I can always come back and choose a different one. For example, to see the default overview of what is a workflow, there is this quick run through which takes you from step 1 to step 5 and explain what our workflows feature actually is about. It's done in a very simple way, so it should be easy to follow. If something is not clear, please let us know, and we'll be happy to update it. So again, the workflow guides are located under this workflow icon on any workflow dashboard. Right, now, Lucas, that's everything I had from the prepared questions. I would love to jump to Q&A. Before we do that, I would just quickly announce what we are going to work on, or what we are working on right now, and what we plan to launch soon. It will be very soon possible to create new task templates when you create the workflows from scratch. Right now, it's a little bit cumbersome. You need to have the task templates existing, but very soon you'll be able to do it all from one location. We are making really great progress on the calendar integration on a taskboard level. That means a team shared calendar, and that looks very promising. We also kicked off our recurring task project, and as I mentioned earlier, we are looking into moving forward to our own in-app notifications. So please stay tuned, and if there is anything you are missing, any feature which is not misbehaving, let us know. We will be happy to hear your feedback. All right, now live Q&A. So what do we have in the live chat?
Currently, there are two questions. Yeah, maybe we can start first with them and see what's coming in. One is asking about the work steps within a workflow, and how many can be created there. Is this an unlimited number or not? I don't know if everyone is aware, but we have a limited or a limit for in-progress work steps on the taskboard, which is 15, when I remember correct. And the same number applies also to workflows then. So yeah, when you create your workflow and add new work steps, at some point we say, okay, that's enough. Simply because each workflow and also each process should only have a certain amount of steps. Otherwise, it might be too complex and it's easier to break them down. And now where we actually have our auto forwarding feature live, that could be a good attempt to split the work step or the process into two separate parts, and then simply use the auto forwarding to move the tasks from the first to the second half of the workflow.
Yeah, Lucas, I think that's a perfect answer. It's a question of whether it's really necessary to have more than 15. I remember some time back we actually our limit was 5, and we believed that it's possible to express most of the situations of the real life in less than 5, and then we in certain I think in the HR workflows it was reaching the point that maybe you might need more, and then in the context of research we also identified that it might be more required. So at some point I think we reached the decision that okay, let's see if we can extend it by a little bit and reach the step of 15 might be maybe the sweet spot where if you get more than 15 then probably something is not right. And okay, as you can see now, it doesn't allow me to enter more than 15 working steps. So the current limit is 15. If you have more, we would really like to talk to you and see how we can learn from your use case, and if it's possible to address what you are trying to achieve in some different way by splitting into potentially more different task boards and different workflows, which would be more focused and have more throughput. Let us know.
Yeah. And the second question we had here was about task sharing, and basically can I share a task with someone who is not a member of the task board? And that basically comes down to the exact situation. So when we are talking about, for example, in the Slack context, about a private task board which is connected to a private channel, then that's not possible because we simply take the restrictions from Slack and only people which are in the channel have access to that board. However, when we are talking about a public board, also on Microsoft Teams, then this means I can share with everyone who is a member of my workspace. So in Slack, the workspace, or in Teams, the organization. For further public, so that you can simply send someone you just met a link to your task, that's currently not possible. But we constantly think about having something public, but we didn't reach a decision there how we want to implement it. So again, if you have some feedback there, or if that's something you would need, please let us know, and we might can dig further into it.
Thank you, Lucas. I think that's a great summary. I would just add 1 or 2 points on top, and that is, if you are on a paid Slack plan, you should be able to invite guest users to your workspace, and these guest users then can be member of one or single or multiple channels, and these would then have a certain access to the tasks. There is a way how to get them on the task boards. They can fully interact with the tasks inside of a Slack. The similar concept is achievable on Microsoft Teams, where you can create a team which should be visible to guest users and invite the guest users into this team. Then you can collaborate together and they have the full access to that given task board and nothing else. And additional way how to get it done now would be to potentially use the Slack Connect, where you can have multiple organizations in the same channel and they can collaborate on one task board. All these options are possible, and what we are looking at for Q3 and hopefully the second part or probably of Q3 is having a way how you can actually really invite people from outer space to your task boards, or create virtual teams which are not only related to the membership of your communication platform. For that, we still need the internal notifications, but then we should be kind of unlimited in this option, and you will be in charge of your user membership and given task board. So the feature of being able to share it with somebody out of your organization is in some ways limited right now, but we will be extending it into way different level very soon.
True. Thanks for adding that. Completely forgot about that possibility. Okay, then so let me check Google, YouTube. So YouTube seems to have no further question there, but I found a couple of others. So one of them would be, will the archive task board land at some point in the future in some collective archive? So for example, what we have with the tasks in general. And yeah, what are the actual plans there?
If I remember correctly, we have still for the plan for the Q4 this year, we have a feature called Archive V2, where we would like to bring together more concept of data analytics and further search, which would allow you to actually have a quick access to any content which you might have come in contact with in your past, and it would include better and searchable archive, aggregation of different archived task boards into one view, potentially overview of the archive task boards as entities for sure. It's I would say very early stage right now to share any information on that, but hopefully in the future, yes, there will be a way to administer the archive task boards and bring them back with their tasks which existed on those task boards as well.
Yeah, that's it, I think, unless there's something new on YouTube. No, it isn't. So yeah, I think we are fine for today or for this session.
Nice. Okay, thank you, Lucas. It was a pleasure, and looking forward to
Okay, it seems that we lost Roman, so I will close the stream today. Thanks for participating, everyone, and then yeah, see you in 1 month. And yeah, have a great day. Goodbye.